Hey folks, Joe Valley here. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Quiet Light Podcast. I appreciate you spending time with me every week. And this week, it's going to be a little short. We're going to spend a few minutes talking about goal setting. And I want to share a little bit of story about my own journey to actually finally writing the book. I've been trying to do this for, I want to say 4 or 5 years on the EXITpreneur's Playbook. I had the concept and the idea, outlined it, and I never really got past or even through the introduction until I was sitting around a fire pit with some friends on a weekend night out here on Lake Norman in North Carolina. And I made an announcement. I said, hey, Bruce, Dana, I want to make an announcement. I want you guys to hold me to this and ask for updates on a regular basis. They said, I'm writing a book. This is what it's about. This is my timeline. This is the goal, the objective of the book. And I'm sharing it with you because I want you to hold me accountable. I want you to check in with me. I'm going to check in with you, tell you how I'm doing. I want you to randomly ask me how it's going. And that propelled me to actually get it done. That one conversation around a fire pit with a bottle of wine allowed me to actually push through and get my goal achieved, which was writing a book on selling online businesses. Now, I had a path that I was going to go down to write the book, and that's not the one I ended up going down. I thought I was going to be, keying this in and writing it out like a normal author would, or like most authors, I guess. I don't know what normal is these days, but I kept pushing down that path. And every time Bruce or Dana asked, or I gave them an update, I hadn't made a whole lot of progress. But because I think, I put it out there into the universe, something came to me. And that was me going to an event where Scott Volker was speaking on stage and announcing that he had written a book, and he showed the book to everybody, gave the book to everybody, and introduced his scribe. The person he brought out on stage was his scribe, a young lady named Brannon from Scribe Media. They, instead of an author writing everything in the book, writing everything, typing it in and editing it and things of that nature, it's done through interviews. Brannon and I outlined the book in further detail, and then she interviewed me for each section of the book, gave it to me to then review and edit. It put my words on paper instead of just typing it out. It was the best way for me to achieve my goals. But I don't think I would have gotten there if I hadn't made the announcement to Bruce and Dana that I was going to write the book. I think I still would have floundered, and no one would have held me accountable, and I wouldn't have held myself accountable either. And I want to share something with you along those lines. I always knew that writing down goals was important, and I do it much more effectively now in much more detail. But I'm going to share this with you because I want you to think about your personal goals and your professional goals. And I want you to follow the path of most success, of the greatest chances of succeeding in terms of writing your goals down. One of the most often cited studies done on the importance of goal setting was done by Dr. Matthews. She's a psychology professor at the Dominican University of California. She had a group consisting of 149 participants from a variety of backgrounds. These are entrepreneurs, bankers, healthcare workers, retail, profit, nonprofit, all sorts of folks from a variety of different countries as well, the US, Belgium, India, Australia, Japan. And she randomly put them into 5 different groups. I'm going to lay down what she did for each group. So in group number 1, she said, look, folks, all I want you to do is to think about your goals. And then we're going to come back and revisit and see, how far along you got in terms of succeeding with those goals. Group number 2, write out their goals. Group number 3, write out your goals, write action steps with deadlines for those goals. Group number 4, do all of number 1, 2, and 3, plus send the goal and action steps to a supportive friend. And group number 5, you had to do all of number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and send a weekly progress report to those friends. I saw Dana and Bruce on a regular basis. We traveled together, and it was not weekly, but it was a regular progress report, probably once or twice a month. At the end of the 4-week period, the group with the most people who achieved their goals was obviously number 5. You knew that was coming. It's not a surprise. That group had 76% of the people accomplishing their goals while only 42% accomplished their goals in group number one. That was the group who didn't write it down. They just thought about their goals. That's almost 100% greater chance of success when you write down your goals in detail, share your goals with a friend, and then give them a weekly progress report on your goals. It's important that you think about that, whether you are buying a business or selling a business or on a weight loss kick for the summer, whatever it might be. When you've got the support of friends and family, accountability of colleagues and things of that nature, you are going to have a much greater chance of succeeding at your goal. I did this last spring with 5 friends from around the country. We had a weight loss challenge. We all set our goals. We did this in a Google sheet that we all shared, our goals in terms of how much we were going to lose. And by the end, it was at the end of March 2021. And each week we had a weigh-in on Sunday morning, and we put those goals there. We had a little side bet going. Whoever didn't achieve their goals had to pay everybody else a certain amount of money. I think 4 out of 5 of us achieved our goals. And honestly, if I hadn't had that accountability, I've been trying to get back down to my wedding weight, right? I've been married for 24 years now. And I got back down to my wedding weight finally after 24 years. I only had 6 or 7 pounds to lose, but it was impossible because I didn't have accountability for it. I didn't weigh in. I didn't share the goal with somebody and hold them accountable and vice versa. When I did that, 4 out of 5 of us achieved the goal. And the 5th person, honestly, was just there harassing us and giving us a hard time the whole time. It was kind of fun. He never really put in the effort. And that's okay. This isn't a 100% chance of success process. The point is to greatly improve your chances of success. So if you want to buy a business, write down what you want to buy. How much of a business do you want to buy? How much can you spend? Do you want to spend? Get detailed. Do you want it, how much cash flow do you want it to have? How much discretionary earnings do you want it to have? How old do you want it to be? What kind of growth rate do you want it to have? How are you going to finance it? All of those things, write it down and then share it with a friend or colleague, somebody else that may be in a similar mastermind group or listens to the podcast, so that you're both trying to go after the same thing and you can share thoughts and ideas with each other. The same goes true for you people that are selling your business or just operating your business. You are going to exit your business someday. Are you going to exit it at a time of your choosing, at a value of your choosing, with a deal structure of your choosing? Or are you just going to wake up and decide to sell and get what you can for it? If you want to be in that first group, write down your goals. I will sell my business for X amount of dollars in the 3rd quarter of this year. And when I do, I will feel X, Y, Z. Write all of those things down, dollars, date, and feeling, and get as detailed as possible, and then share it with someone. Share it with an advisor at Quiet Light that helps you reverse engineer a path to those goals. That's their jobs, right? We do valuations for folks. We tell them what their business is worth within a certain range, and then can compare it to their goal and say, all right, you're not quite there. In fact, I saw an email from Elaine today out to a client and said, if you want to achieve the goal that we've set forth, you probably need to wait 6 more months based upon the trends and the numbers. And at that point, we're very confident we can hit your goals. If you need to move forward now, we understand and we can do that, but it's going to be a bit more of a challenge. So she's giving them the option, right? They wrote down their goals. They went through it with her. They're reverse engineering a path to that. And she's giving them honest advice, which is, maybe you would need to wait 6 more months. You're going to put some more money in your pocket, and you're going to fix a couple of things that she noticed in terms of the way the business is being operated to set those goals. So write down your goals, write them down in detail, put some dollars, date, and feeling to it, and share it with a friend, and have that friend ask for weekly updates, and you give them weekly updates as much as you can. And then put it everywhere, right? We've all talked about and heard about and seen in movies, people that write their daily goals on their mirror when they're shaving in the morning or getting ready for the day, or I often have them on my computer monitor or on my screen when I'm saving. It's always there. It's always a reminder. And somehow, some way, when you're sharing that with others or you see it every day, you're more likely to push forward through those. All right, folks, I'm going to stop rambling now. That's it for me today. Focused on goals. They do work. Talk to some friends about it. If we can do anything here at Quiet Light to help you with those, reverse engineering a path to those goals, helping keep you accountable, reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. Thanks.